All right, so day one of the quarantine. And we have to make sure that we don't go crazy when we're at the house and eat everything in sight. It's easy to be comfortable, to get comfortable, eat snacks, and gain some weight that you do not or should not gain. So what am I going to do? I'm going to give you guys a brief example what I do usually on a daily basis for dinner or lunch, or I'll make dinner now and then tomorrow I'll use this as a lunch. So I'm going to show you how I make steak, rice, and some spinach all together, and I get everything that I need. So here's my steaks. They're very thin cut sirloin. So I've already put some olive oil in this pan here. I'm sorry, in my what the heck's the name of this pan? What are these pans called? Cast iron. There we go. And usually when I'm making a thicker steak, oh, I got tongs over here. This is how I do it. I go to my timer on the microwave, and I put cook time, and I usually put 8 minutes. But these steaks are so thin, I'm only gonna put 5 minutes. All right, so cook time, 5 minutes. Now, I'm gonna drop these steaks in there. And remember, when you're making steak, you need a very hot cast iron skillet. You can do it in a regular pan as well. A regular pan works just as well. But I like cast iron. I'm gonna hit start. There we go. Seriously. All right, so I put it for 4:30 because these are already on there. In 30 seconds, I'm going to turn these steaks over. And what I do is every minute I turn them over. I may actually finish this earlier than 4 minutes because of how thin these steaks are. Let's say you're eating a regular ribeye. All right, those are fairly thick. I put 8 minutes on the clock and I turn the steaks over every minute. That way I know how long I'm doing it for. All right, I'm already at, it just got a 4 minutes. I'm gonna turn these guys over. All right, and they're cooking. Now, while these guys are going, I already have rice I've already had it made. So if you don't have a rice cooker, I highly recommend it. This is my rice cooker. It's a Japanese rice cooker. It's awesome. All right, there it is, some rice. I highly recommend getting a rice cooker. It makes your life much easier to stay healthy. All right, let's see. I'm about to have to turn these guys over one more time again. And that's it, really, for that part. We're just gonna keep turning these guys over. All right, we're at now 3 minutes. Turn it over one more time. Here we go. While those guys are getting made, all right, you can put a little salt on them if you'd like. You could have done that. I could have done that earlier. I just didn't feel like it. You can use regular table salt. That's good. I'm a big fan of kosher salt. So I just put some kosher salt on it while it's just cooking. And keep in mind, all I have on these steaks is steak seasoning. That's it. Could I have done something more dramatic? Sometimes I do. I get garlic. I put garlic in there, butter. I have rosemary growing in my front yard, and I'll put some rosemary in here, but that's not tonight. Tonight's just like, I gotta eat. I gotta get the nutrition that I need. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just turning these steaks over. Some salt seasoning, and I'm good to go. Now, I gotta get greens. All right, it's good for you. It's good for your flora and your gut. So I just pour some olive oil. That's maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 tablespoons of olive oil. I turn this sucker on, and I put it at about medium high. All right. These steaks look done, actually. I'm gonna take these steaks out already. They're so thin that I still got like a minute 30 on them, but I believe they're done. I'll put these in. They're already done. Remember, when you're making steak, you need a very high heat on the pan or when you're making it on the oven or on the stove or even in your barbecue. All right, you need a very high heat. Now I still got 3 more steaks in here. Before I do that, I'm waiting for this olive oil here to warm up, and I'm going to I have baby spinach. All right, I grab a big old handful of baby spinach and just put it in there, and I'm gonna get another handful because this, actually I can pretty much use the bag at this point. I've been already using this bag. I like to go through small bags. I don't like to buy big bags of spinach because I've noticed that I'll just not eat it. You know, if I get a small bag, I'll finish it. I have a wooden spoon here. I let it sit there for just a little bit, and I have garlic powder with me. I'll be putting that on there in just a minute. All right, and now that's already going. I already have my rice made. Let's put these other steaks up here. Let's clear this out. So I'm here. All right, I'm almost done. And these steaks only need about 4 minutes to be made. So in about a minute, I'll be turning them again over and over again. Here's my spinach. I start moving it around in the olive oil so that it can cook, obviously. And although that looked like a big bunch of spinach, because it's in the olive oil, it is cooking. It shrinks. The water starts getting pulled out of the spinach, and it becomes consumable at a much smaller rate. The spinach is good for all kinds of, for your body. I personally eat spinach for my digestion. It gives me the fiber that I need. All right, so be aware of that. Got to turn these steaks over. And guys, I'm going to stop this video right now. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you the finished product here because I'm almost done. Before I do that, let me show you what I'm going to do with this spinach. I'm going to put some garlic powder on it. All right, some garlic powder. A little bit of kosher salt, not a lot. I don't like a lot here with the spinach. Just a sprinkle. And I just move it around. All right, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. All right, guys, dinner is done. It's made. It took me, well, I had to wait for the rice to be made, and that can take anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. But while that's happening, I'm sitting around reading, hanging out, chilling. I can, chill out. And in that time, I have my steak out, coming down to room temperature. All right, you can be seasoning it also during that time so that it's getting that seasoning inside of it. All right, but once everything's getting cooked, we're talking, well, let's see, the steak itself, because this steak was so thin, it only took me about 4 minutes. I was double dipping, so I was making the spinach at the same time, and that took me about another 4 minutes as well. So we're talking at a maximum, me being on the stove, getting everything ready, or getting everything cooked, 10 minutes because I had to do 2 servings of steaks. Let's say I was eating a thicker steak, a ribeye, I usually only cook like 2 ribeyes. And that takes me 8 minutes to make those full ribeyes. But today it took me a little bit faster. And that's the point that I'm trying to make is, okay, we're at home. All right, we're not training. There's no reason for us to lose all our discipline and just start gaining a bunch of weight, all right? By snacking. Keep in mind, these foods that I'm eating are high in fat, so that way I don't get so hungry so quickly. So let me show you the finished product here. Let me see here. How can I turn this around? Here is the finished product. steak, spinach, rice. Now keep in mind the spinach has some garlic seasoning on it. Not garlic salt, garlic powder. Please don't use garlic salt. That's way too much sodium. Keep in mind I just sprinkled it with a little bit of kosher salt on it. This steak already has some seasoning on it, some salt. I'm having a nice glass of red wine. If you're going to drink in the evening, beer's great. You know me, I freaking love beer. But I have learned to try to cut the beer off sometimes at night and just stick to red wine. It has a lot less sugar than white wine. So try to stick to your red wine and enjoy your night. Remember, just because we're stuck at home, we're not training for this week, doesn't mean that we should lose all composure. All right. And tomorrow I'll give you an example of what I eat for lunch, or not tomorrow, here in a couple of days I'll show you what I eat for lunch, so you can see how I keep it easy for myself.